All right. Welcome back, my regular viewers, listeners, and watchers. And of course, if you happen to be here for the very first time, welcome. Before I go any further, my name is Rahul George, and I'm India's premier eye hypnosis life healer coach and your personal guide. So, for regular viewers, listeners, and watchers, of course, of our pod, the iHypnosis Life Coaching Journeys, you know that this is a podcast that has been curated just for you. We bring some of the most amazing healers and coaches, people who are on this journey of truly making a difference and taking their message out into the world. And so, as we are now well and truly into season two, I have some in fact, I have a really amazing guest who will be sharing her story with you. If you already, read her the write up on her life's journey, this will be an opportunity, obviously, for you to get to hear it firsthand. So, with that, of course, Dr. Saleha, this is your cue, so you can definitely turn on your camera. And it's such a pleasure to have you here. Thank you for taking the time.
Thank you so much for having me here, for inviting me for this podcast. I'm really excited about this.
Awesome. So, as with every episode, I like to start at the present, which is maybe for people who know you or people who are meeting you for the very first time, if you could share what is it that, like, if someone says, okay, so Dr. Saleha, what do you do? What would you
I
say?
am a purpose and goal achievement coach, and I coach executives, that is, managers and senior managers. Why I do this? Because I see and I've known and I've also been
Mm,
there. Um, Executives, managers, they go through a lot
mm,
of churn. Every day is like a
right.
whirlwind for them. And they end up being so stressed, tremendously stressed. And they
Mm,
remain in that whirlwind, so focused on work, that they forget the
mm,
important areas of their life, like health, relationships, their
right.
own career, even their financial well being. So I want to
Mm,
bring back their focus to the important things in their life. So that is why purpose and goal achievement coach. Real goals that are, maybe hidden somewhere inside them.
right.
Because we
Mm,
go on running after things which society, the expectations of other people or the organization, what they are expecting from
mm,
us, and we start to take those as measures of our success. Whereas
mm,
that all that I'm doing according to other people's measure of success will not be giving me happiness. What will give me true happiness
mm.
is when I work according to what really is my goal from inside.
Nice. So it definitely sounds like even the way you're, you know, saying the words, there's a lot of thought that's gone into it. There's a lot of it seems like, and it sounds like there's a personal journey that led you here to be able to frame what you say, what you do, and how you help people. Right. So before we come to that, uh, you know, what better than to take a slight detour and go back in time, right? Maybe in your own words, if you could share how you got here, like what led you to this point and doing the work that you do today. So what you can you and of course you can go as far back as you choose to uh, to to
Okay.
to show us how you reached here. Like what were some of those twists and turns along the way?
I joined State Bank of India as a probationary
Mm,
officer in the year 1990. At that point in time, it was one of the best jobs in the country. And people told me that, only the smart people, very brilliant, intelligent people get into State Bank of India as a probationary
mm,
officer. So that creates a sort of a challenge in your mind. Okay, so I'll crack it.
mm,
So I went
right.
ahead and did it, and I enjoyed the work for some time, for around 10 years. It was good and nice, and I was doing very well.
Mm,
But there came a point where the job role that I was handling, it was not connecting at all with my strengths, my capabilities, neither with my values.
mm,
And that created a kind of deep stress. The stress was so huge, it was so intense that it was impacting my life, it was impacting my personal life, in that, because I always used to be irritated and angry, therefore fights at home would go on, and my marriage actually was on the verge of collapse at that point. Every day there was a very bitter uh, altercation, and every day, it ended up in a lot of pain. My relationship with my children also wasn't very happy. They were scared of me because I was an irritated, angry person, because whatever I was doing was not connecting with what I wanted to do. And so that was happening. My health was getting affected. So my upper back and lower back, terrible problems, so much so that I was laid down on bed for certain days. There were certain days I just wouldn't want to go to office,
Mm,
apart from physical pain, the
mm,
pain of going to office, because I was always in conflict with my team also. Um, I was 35 years at that point in time, and a lot of my hair had gone gray at that point in time, and my cholesterol levels were all
oh,
awry. So much so that at that age, I had cholesterol bags on my eyelids. So that was the condition that I had, and the cholesterol bags, and I was young, so I had talked to some doctors, how can this go? And they said it can only go through plastic surgery. So this was the situation that I was in, and I knew desperately that I wanted to move out. Now, outwardly, I was successful. I was seen as a bright and intelligent manager. I was given a promotion. And as a result of that promotion, my organization sent me to a training program, a 2-week training program, to which I initially didn't want to go. But that training program led me through an inward journey. It was 1 week was a journey of self exploration. And I am not a very talkative person. I was not the one who was talking during this journey. They call it tea groups. And apart from that, there was 1 week of leadership sessions and all that. But the shift happened in this tea group. And when I came back, I still remember the moment when I felt calmer inside. I was not as irritated and angry. And I was thinking, okay, this is me reacting in this way to this situation. And then I realized that yes, something had shifted inside me.
mm,
And then at work, I started asking for job roles which were more in sync with my own strengths,
mm,
capabilities, and values. When that happened, when I got to shift from that situation, which was very stressful for me, when the stress got relieved, my behavior, of course, changed. When my behavior changed, my relationships became better, more friendly and open with my children, warmer with my husband, and my health became better. It was amazing. So my all my back problems went away,
wow,
lower
wow.
back, upper back, and the cholesterol bags, which the doctors had said that they can
Mm,
only go through surgery. In 3 to 4 years, they were gone too.
wow.
So
Um,
actually, if you look at today's date, there are many examples. So in fact, the level of stress that I faced,
mm,
it was even not that intense, because today we are seeing people who are succumbing to stress. So,
mm,
for example, we had the tragic death of Anna Sebastian, then the tragic death of Rohan Mirchandani. There was somebody in Mumbai who jumped into the sea, and all these were stress related situations. So, one, health is impacted, relationships are impacted, other things also, because people are so engrossed in work that they forget that they also need to plan for the
mm,
future. They have to secure their financial freedom, that they have to work on their career, and just working on the desk does not ensure that you get your promotion also.
mm.
And of course, your spiritual well-being and social well-being also suffers. So I talk about the 7 areas of life which are important for everyone, and we need to take care of each of those areas to be really truly happy.
Yeah, yeah. So walk us from that point where you said you were around 35 when you had that experience, and then the tea groups kind of came in, the experience of the tea groups came into your life.
Hmm.
And so, what did you notice you said, of course, it took 2 years, 3 years for that reversal to start to become very evident, and you were really benefiting from it. What was life after that?
Okay, so the change started happening immediately.
Hmm.
Um, mm, my relationships became better. I started feeling more calmer, and I would respond to situations in a more emotionally intelligent way. That started happening immediately. Uh, why the cholesterol bags took time to go away? Because that is a medical. There is a medical reason. When your cholesterol levels come down to normal and they remain normal for a long time, the external appearances also. No, so that also
Correct.
was sucked in by the bloodstream.
Hmm.
So that would definitely take time.
Correct.
But my health, my relationships, everything started becoming better. I had more time for my family. I had more time
Hmm.
to think of my future, what I wanted to do.
Hmm.
And this decision to become a coach actually
Hmm.
happened immediately then when I attended that program and came back.
Wow.
And gradually, after a couple of years, I also had the opportunity to become a trainer and coach within my organization. And
Hmm.
that is where I got the opportunity to coach thousands
Hmm.
and thousands of people, not only from SBI, but also from other companies. So I've coached more
Nice.
than 10,000 um,
Hmm.
executives from more than 35 countries from India
Hmm.
and abroad. So that is
Nice.
the opportunity that I had. And when I look back now, what a wonderful
Hmm.
decision that was, because now when I look back, I feel so much happiness and satisfaction
Hmm.
uh, with whatever I have done, because then
Hmm.
I was doing what really my heart told me to do.
Hmm.
And now going to office every day was a joy. It was a pleasure.
Right.
And every day, the work that did gave me immense satisfaction. What
Hmm.
more do you look for when you look back at
True.
life? You
True.
look back
Of
with
course. Of course.
satisfaction, happiness,
Hmm.
fulfillment.
Hmm. So that's beautiful. I mean, to be able to recreate or literally like step into a different avatar while you're at work, and to go from dreading to really looking forward to going to work, right? And I'm guessing it sounds like that would have been maybe a 5 7 year horizon. So as you started to do more of the coaching, you started to have experiences. Like you said, you coached people from different countries. I'm guessing not only nationalities but even designations, the kind of work that they were doing. What uh, at what point did you notice that shift? Because would I be right in saying that you suddenly got that calling to become an entrepreneur? So when did you notice that shift?
Oh, the calling to become an entrepreneur actually came after my retirement. I completed
Mm.
my journey with State Bank of India in the year 2022.
Oh,
But
okay.
I knew that I wanted to continue doing this work of coaching.
Mm.
And so, State Bank of India, being a very magnanimous organization, even
Mm.
when I was there, they would allow me to go and take sessions elsewhere
Mm.
on my own, and also enjoy the financial benefits that I had. So
Mm.
they're very generous and magnanimous that way. And therefore, I already had the experience, and I
Mm.
knew that I wanted to do this. I had to continue doing this. And there were job offers, but no, matlab, that was a feeling
Mm.
that I'm not nahi. I want to do it for
Wow.
myself,
Mm.
uh, on my own. So yeah, being an entrepreneur is not easy, but it is a very exciting
Mm.
journey. It really tests you, challenges you.
Mm.
You fall and you get back up. Yeah, lots of challenges and lots of hurdles, but
Yeah. Yeah.
ultimately it gives
Mm.
you a lot of satisfaction that you have the freedom to do exactly what you want.
Mm.
And if you know what you want to do, then
Mm.
entrepreneurship is a
Right.
wonderful thing.
Right. How did your family respond when it was like, okay, um, I've done my time, spent the last 20 odd years developing this role, and you've had successes, and then now it's like officially you're supposed to retire. And then instead of retiring and staying retired, you say, hey, you know what, I'm going to shift gears. And of course, by then COVID had already happened, like you said, 2022. The world was changing. People were starting to become more aware of webinars and coaching and many different kinds of coaches, healers. It's like it's almost like sometimes you wonder where were all of these people, but well, for a lot of them they were doing their jobs, and then COVID kind of created that. It created like a
An
massive ripple
opportunity, in fact.
and
Yeah.
an opportunity as well, right? So how was that experience for you? And in fact, as I said, it's like how did your family respond when you said no? You know what? I'm not taking another job. I'm actually going to do this on my terms. Do this as an entrepreneur instead.
Okay. So my family is has always been supportive and
Mm.
nice, and or maybe I am the kind of person who is always dominating, so nobody messes with me.
Nice.
Maybe that. But my daughter, one of them, said that, Mama, you've worked so long, so hard, so
Mm.
many years. Why are you working now?
Yeah.
Why are you going
Yeah.
to work now? And I said, well, if I don't work, what do I do?
Correct.
How many Netflix series can I watch? um, and the other thing was that I and my husband had made a decision that we'll make a house in Ranchi, and in Ranchi also we had chosen a village to settle down in.
Wow.
And all of this was made possible by this new industry which has just opened up.
Yeah.
Earlier, otherwise, I was thinking maybe I would live somewhere in Delhi NCR.
Mm.
But when this opportunity opened up, we decided to shift here.
Wow.
And even in the village, I have brilliant broadband, which works very well.
Nice.
Yeah, it works very well, and I have no issues working here. So
Mm.
mm, my nobody,
Mm.
yeah, in the family, the reaction was always
Mm.
positive, they're supportive, and nice.
Nice. Okay. So now, if you could tell us one more time, like when you work with people, especially today, like what is it that you do?
Okay. So once again, it is a sort of a repetition, but I'll say that
Mm-hmm.
I am a purpose and goal achievement coach for
Mm.
executives. And what I help people do is, number one, find out their purpose in life, what they really want to achieve. And I do not want to frighten people by hearing
Mm.
the word purpose, because purpose may seem like, it has to be something earth shattering.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
I need to change the world and all that. It
Right.
doesn't need to be that. Your purpose is just something which makes you feel deeply happy
Mm.
inside. It makes you feel that your life, you have a sense of fulfillment
Mm.
by doing what you are doing,
Mm.
and you feel that your life, whatever you are doing, is meaningful to
Mm.
you and to the people who are important for you. It is as simple as that. It does not
Right.
need to have to do something. Yes, there are great people who've done great things,
Sure.
but each one of us on this planet, we have a unique purpose. We are unique and we have a unique purpose. And your
Mm.
purpose need not be something very huge. It just is that which gives you true happiness and fulfillment.
Mm.
That's it.
Mm. Right. Okay. So, did you like? How did you stumble upon this way of saying it? Like, did you workshop it, or did you kind of do that reflection, the meditation, to say, oh yeah, this is actually what I've been doing all along, and this is what I'm meant to tell other people who are in a job, so that they can feel more connected to why they work, why they show up every day, why they should show up every day to do their work. Like, what walk us through what was that experience for you?
Uh, I actually wanted to ask you another question. What makes you ask this question that how did you learn to frame it this way?
Like I said, these pods are very inspired by the guest, and as I'm sure by now you know, there are no scripts as such. It's just your energy that a lot of times shapes the questions. Because there's a certain energy with which you say it, so I'm always curious to know what inspired you. And also, that's a great question actually, because these pods are actually in service of people who are healers and coaches. So
Okay.
they're at different levels of their journey,
Mm.
right? So my intention is that when they hear your story, it also inspires them to say, oh yeah, you know, maybe I didn't think of it like this. Let me relook at my story, or let me ask the question this way. Maybe I will be able to get more of that energy to keep showing up and doing the work.
Okay. So I was one of those executives busy in the day's work, always in the
Correct.
whirlwind, not able to think
Hmm.
beyond all that is going on, all that is surrounding you today, the various activities.
Hmm.
And then, when that training happened, decided to become a coach. And after a
Hmm.
couple of years, I did get the opportunity. And that was my own learning experience, because
Hmm.
then I was interacting with other trainers, coaches, and facilitators.
Hmm.
And my God, they were some elevated beings, to be sure.
Hmm.
And then I was reading a lot of books.
Hmm.
And this book, The Seven Habits of Highly Effective
Hmm.
People, when I read that at that point in time, one of the first books I read after becoming a trainer. So that was a book in that, he says, begin with the end in mind. That
Hmm.
was one chapter. And when I did that, and it was like, oh my God, I hadn't ever thought about life this way. And similar thoughts,
Hmm.
journeys, and then that chapter and similar exercises, they make you realize that a lot of the time the things that we are running after are not the most important things.
Hmm.
When you give that time to yourself with a reflection inwards, and then you realize, oh no, that's not where I want to go. This is where I want to go.
Right.
And that is when I did it, and that has sort of stuck with me. Good that you've asked this question now. I am and that sort of stuck with me. And then when I started to think of my entrepreneurship journey,
Hmm.
I wanted to, I could have done. And there are lots
Hmm.
of people who say that you should teach a skill, and you
Hmm.
get people very easily to do that. So I could have taught people communication or negotiation.
Hmm. Hmm.
That would have been very much easier. But this was my heart's calling, and today
Wow.
if I am doing it after having worked for 30 plus years in the organization, 32
Hmm.
years, and
Hmm.
now if I'm doing it, I want to do something which is really truly my heart's calling. And I know that this is something which probably very few people, there are people who are talking about it, but
Sure.
very few people are talking about it. And
Hmm.
especially they are not talking about it to the kind of people who I
Yes.
want my
Yes.
audience to be. There are people who are teaching executives to be, how to become a CXO fast. Yeah,
Hmm.
how to communicate. There are people who are teaching them this. Nobody is teaching them. Please, please look at yourself, look at your life, look at what you really want out of life.
Nice.
And a lot of executives, and I've talked to them, I do one on one coaching, and
Hmm.
very successful people. They'll say, yeah, I'm doing all of this, and I want to
Hmm.
practice, and I want to do this, all of that. And they're very good at what they're doing.
Hmm.
But it was really painful. And I still remember sentences like this when one of them said that, yes, I know all of this, but I don't know how to be happy.
Wow.
Yeah. Even when
Wow.
I think of it,
Yeah.
it
Chills.
makes my eyes moist.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there was a shift in his life, and he learned that there are important things in his life, and he started practicing.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Hmm. Wow. Wow, that's beautiful. So if I was to say, okay, so at present when someone reaches out to you, right? So what happens on the other side, like behind closed doors or in the Zoom room, in the work that you do, Dr. Saleh? Like what is it that typically what do you do with them, whether it's one on one or maybe even if it is, with a group? How do you typically, help them reconnect or connect or reconnect with that purpose that's in them?
So I have launched two levels of program. The
Mm,
first level is where I do group coaching.
mm,
And there, again, when I start, I help them go through an exercise, a visualization exercise,
mm.
which helps them get an idea of what their purpose is.
Nice.
Their purpose is something broad. They know these are the things which are most
Mm,
important for me. This is the direction in which I want to go. Next step is to identify the goals. And you
mm,
can identify goals only according to your strengths and capabilities. You can't be,
mm,
doing something which is not your strength.
mm,
If you're a bird, you have to fly. If you're a rabbit, you'll dig burrows. Being a bird, you don't want to dig burrows. So,
mm.
using your strengths to create your goals that will fulfill
Mm.
your purpose. So, that is
Right.
the second step.
Mm,
And generally, all the purpose of people, this it
mm,
falls into the seven areas of life,
mm,
which remains health, relationships, career, financial
mm,
well-being,
mm,
learning and personal growth, then
mm,
social well-being and spiritual well-being.
mm,
And therefore, then the next seven steps are to work on each of these areas. And
mm,
uh, I have created a challenge for them, and people work on all of these areas. And
mm.
apparently, it looks like it is all very fuzzy, but the challenge is created in such a way that they get concrete, measurable results in all the seven areas of life.
Nice. Mm,
So that is one level. And the next level, the first one is called the voyages, because it is all a journey. And uh, the other level is called the trailblazers. In the trailblazers, I take them through one to one journeys. First, there is a psychometric on their personality. I use Workplace Big Five from Paradigm Personality Labs USA, which is the most validated psychometric, and it gives you a wonderful report on your personality and also on your competencies and
mm,
capabilities. So starting with that debrief, then there is a very systematic way in which I also, because they have already gone through, certain experience
mm,
with me, I ask them, what are your goals? What are the most important things for you? Then
mm.
also, how happy are you on the seven areas of life? And they will
Right.
tell me that. And from here, the journey starts from their expectation, what they want, and when we go further in one-to-one sessions,
Mm,
then we explore further. And when we go into one-to-ones, we for their goals, whatever goals they're
mm,
working on, we find solutions, one from their conscious mind, their logical mind,
mm.
and also from their subconscious mind through
Nice.
various tools. And so throughout the journey,
Mm,
we keep seeing that how well they are progressing on the goals that they had set
mm.
for themselves.
Nice.
And people, people who are working managers, they are going through immense pain.
Yeah.
And the worst thing is that they're not able to talk about it. The
Mm,
organizations are created in such a way that they would suck people in. And the entire narrative is that if you sacrifice yourself here, you are the great person and all that. Although all of it goes on impacting their life deeply.
mm,
I do not say that don't uh, don't take care of your career. Career is an important area of your life, but it is one of the important areas. So there are one-to-ones there, and plus, because these executives are also very eager to develop on their leadership journey, and there are sessions which will be helpful to them on negotiation, decision making, communication. So these are long, and whenever I do sessions, my sessions are based. Uh, they're not lecture, but
Mm,
one they will be. There might be psychometric, there might be role play, there might be case study discussion. They would actually be practice. So you can't learn negotiation, for example, by
mm,
just learning the theory.
yeah, yeah.
Because what happens is that supposing you are learning to negotiate
Mm,
with clients and client in demanding something, and you know that within this framework of things
mm,
you can do it. So
yeah,
immediately what happens is that your body language becomes like this, and
yeah.
this you can do only when there is role play, when there is
Correct.
practice. So I incorporate all of that in my
Nice,
sessions.
nice. Mm. So when you work with clients at present, and by that I mean, people who are executives, senior executives, do you work with them like, you know, like when someone reaches out to you, is it in an individual capacity, or do you work primarily through like the corporate route where maybe a
Both.
manager, you do both?
Both. So I have been doing B2B
Mm,
mostly, but I see what happens in B2B, that is that organizations identify certain people
mm,
and who they see as the people who are more promising, they'll take up higher leadership
mm,
roles, and they put them in the coaching journey. Sometimes what
right.
happens that the coachee starts thinking that I have been identified for this, because they might be thinking, HR might be thinking there is a problem inside, and that might not be the reason. So only very few people are
Mm,
selected by organizations to go through this. And
mm,
one-to-one coaching is, there is a lot of investment from the
correct.
corporate side,
Mm,
and therefore very few people are selected and get this opportunity. My idea is to make it available to everyone.
mm,
So making it more democratic, more
mm,
affordable,
mm,
and everyone who wants to develop themselves and who
mm,
wants to achieve their goal and purpose, and they can come here. So,
nice,
yeah, a lot
nice.
of the people who are doing executive coaching are doing
Mm,
uh, through B2B. But yeah, I want to make it more democratic, more
mm.
affordable for a lot of
Got
people.
it. Beautiful. So, one very important question, since you mentioned that you retired, if memory serves me right, in 2022, right? So, what were some of the um, ripple effects, or how? What was your experience of COVID? Because this was literally 2 years before you were set to retire. How
Yeah,
were those 2 years?
yeah.
Uh,
So I still remember when
mm,
COVID struck, I was heading State Bank Institute of Leadership in Kolkata.
mm,
And we already had news from abroad that is spreading,
mm,
and we knew that we had to do something.
mm,
So, because I was heading a training institute, a
mm,
leadership institute, so I knew that I had to be prepared.
mm.
So I had prepared my entire team, and we had worked on all the different platforms, and all the platforms were not as developed
Correct.
at that time.
Correct.
So we worked on various. Some of the
Mm.
ones I have even forgotten the names, because they finally uh,
Mm.
they faded out because they were very data heavy and all that. So finally, we started work on teams which State Bank of India had
Mm.
taken, already had subscribed to it.
Mm.
But my team got to practice on Zoom, on Google Meet, on Teams, and there were some other ones which have now faded.
Mm.
So the team was ready, and the
Nice.
lockdown was on. I think it was on the 23rd of March
Mm.
2020 in
Mm.
India. We held our first webinar on the 25th of
Oh
March,
wow,
because we
that's
were all
amazing.
ready, and
Right.
with very little lag, we
Mm.
immediately shifted to the
Amazing.
online mode. And of course, after that, the various platforms also developed
Mm.
that. So that wasn't an issue, because we were well prepared.
Mm.
So for I think for 1 month ahead of that, me and my team were always practicing every day on, some platform or the other. Everyone was doing that, so that was not an issue. And there were many effects of COVID. Let us
Of
not
course.
go into that, but
Yeah, sure.
this had its positive and negatives.
Mm.
Initially, people were not so ready to shift to the
Mm.
online mode, but online has given so much flexibility and the availability has widened.
Yeah.
So, and this
Mm.
has given, of course, a very platform which is available all the time, everyone,
Mm.
to everyone, and
Yeah,
everywhere. So,
true.
this is,
Beautiful.
you can see the way it is
Yeah,
developing.
yeah.
I both are using this.
So very, very fundamental and important question is, especially nowadays, this is like 5 years since, that moment. Um, as a, as someone who is an entrepreneur, as someone who works online, do you work with people directly in person as well, or is it primarily online that you do the work?
So in person, it happens in workshop mode. There are lots of people in
Okay.
the room.
So you do an
In
in-person
person,
as.
one to one, I think has
Hmm.
now gone out of fashion.
Got it.
Nobody wants to travel and
Got it.
send
Yeah.
their
That's
people to
true.
travel.
That's true.
Unnecessary,
Yeah.
investment of time, money, and energy.
Hmm.
So that has gone out of fashion.
Hmm.
Nobody does. I think nobody does
Sure.
one to
So
one
the reason why I asked
in
is,
person. So
uh, in
in-person workshops, yes, and there is a
yes,
different energy in in-person
correct.
workshops.
So the reason why I asked you, Dr. Saleh, is that what has your experience been when you talk about, especially now, it's a known term. 5 years ago, it was pretty much unknown. This whole concept of digital marketing, right? Like, what have been your experiences over maybe the last 2 to 3 years as you have made that shift, that switch to, you know, like doing this with your own shingle up, and letting people know that you're here and that you're here to, to work with not only individuals but also companies. But how has your experience been as far as digital marketing goes?
It is all very exciting.
Mm.
Of course, I never knew and felt that I could be a
Mm.
person who would do marketing and selling.
Mm.
When I did selling for State Bank of India, it
Mm.
was, completely different. State Bank of India has an existing market. You just go and things
Yeah.
happen
Yeah.
here to start creating a market for
Mm.
yourself. But it's all very exciting. The best thing is that it is available for everyone to the last
Mm.
person. It's available for everyone.
Mm.
So one sort of marketing which, it comes free for you. You just go and post to social media.
Mm.
You're already doing your marketing there.
Mm.
That is the best part of it. And then you do paid marketing as well, and that is also very exciting because I am still on the learning part where that
Mm.
is concerned. The inorganic marketing, the organic one, I have been doing for quite some time,
Mm.
and the inorganic marketing is new, but it's also very good and exciting
Mm.
and nice to be available. You can do it more targeted. It's
Mm.
not,
True.
general going out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And technology and AI and on all these platforms have made it available for us that
Mm.
we can do targeted
Mm.
thing.
Mm.
So I take the help of people who are professionals in this, and
Mm.
now I am feeling that yes, it works, and of course a lot of people are doing this.
Mm.
The best part is that um, technology has made it available to everyone to the very last
Mm.
person. Earlier,
Nice.
only some big people could
Mm.
think
True.
of being entrepreneurs. Now you see so many entrepreneurs just coming. Everyone can become an
That's true.
entrepreneur.
That's
It has
true.
become easier,
Mm.
and technology has been the wonder kid here that has
Yeah.
made it possible for all
Very
of
true.
us.
Very true. So very important question. Actually, there are two that come to mind. Um, so when nowadays, especially, we talk about community, right, and
Hmm.
the role of community, and
Hmm.
most people who have been observing the industry, they notice that building a community is the way forward. right?
Mhm.
So what are some of your thoughts, or what's your philosophy on community building?
I have two different thoughts
Mm.
on this, and those are very different thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
One is I am part of many communities,
Correct.
and I am also building my own community. I have a community of my own,
Mm.
and I see that the community has a lot of power.
Mm.
Like what they say, your environment is stronger than your willpower if you decide
Mm.
to do something. For example, a lot of people like, Saurabh Bothra is teaching yoga. He
Mm.
also has a community and he goes on building his community. So
Mm.
when you see that there are other people
Mm.
concentrating on their well-being, they are doing the yoga, and there are a lot of people on the same journey as me, you get inspired, you
Mm.
get your energy from them, and you travel on that journey. So that
Mm.
is one of the things that
Mm.
works very well, I think it does.
Mm.
On the other hand, there are people like Ankur Warikoo,
Mm.
who does direct selling of courses on the
Mm.
platform, and how he remains in touch with his audience is that he gives them live question and answer for a certain number of sessions. Six
Mm.
live question answers is
Sure.
generally what he
Mm.
does. He is not exactly building a community. He has immense following and all that, but
Mm.
this is not community.
Mm.
And I feel that the value that he's giving in his courses is also very good. So there are
Mm.
two ways, and I do not know. Once you are in a
Right.
community, a lot of people remain in the community. Also, a lot of people step back. There is power to community. I definitely feel that you get inspired by them, and the reason why I am an entrepreneur today and continue to remain one is because of the community.
Nice.
And is because I am continuously
Mm.
attached to one coach who is guiding me, who is telling me what to do, because entrepreneurship journey is not easy.
Correct.
You fall again and again.
Mm.
And then there is somebody from the community who can help you. Then there is your coach who can help you. They'll pull
Mm.
you up. So that environment, yeah, it does help. It does help. Unless,
Nice.
you just want to attend one course and complete. If there is a
Mm.
journey, then your community is required. If
Beautiful.
it's a journey, I think community is.
Beautiful. So one very important question now, which I make it a point to ask all my guests, is the journey of mentors. Like, what has your journey of mentors been? Meaning, who are some of these people that have showed up in your life along the way that have, played a big role in shaping you into who you are today? Reason I ask this is, of course, because sometimes, like you mentioned a few names already, sometimes for people who are watching this can become, especially the question about, journey of mentors, it can become a powerful resource for them on
Mhm.
their journey as they continue, because sometimes you may not have heard of a particular mentor, or maybe you just about heard of them, and then when they hear again from you how, so and so mentor made a difference in your life, this can help them on their journey as well. So I'd love to hear your story or
Okay,
uh,
so
journey of mentors.
the first few mentors that I will name,
Hmm.
nobody would have heard their name because they're not in the market. So, my first mentor, about whom I talked, that when I went to this
Hmm.
program in SBI, and these people had, such deep skill, such marvelous skill. Mr. R. N. Saxena, who was the facilitator of the T group, he made that shift possible inside me, that I could think that this is not the only path for me. I can change my path. There can be, something else, and I can make my life better. And there were other people in State Bank of India, uh, Mr. Lashkar, Madam Urfi Prasad, Vikram Duggal. Vikram Duggal has been in the market for some time. Um, Mohan Kumar. So these were the people who were in SBI, and I must say that the training and learning system in SBI was one of the best because I've had the opportunity to go abroad and attend their training. It's also, but this was, these people were such committed people that their energy, it transformed you. So
Mm.
one is that set of people.
Mm.
Um, After that, some of the learning that I've done as a coach from CLI, Coaching and Leadership International Canada. And there you have the guru coach, Betska K. Burr. So I learned a lot from her on how coaching is to be done. Um, Lately, Blair Singer and then Siddharth Rajshekhar. So I started, on my entrepreneurship journey when um, I saw Siddharth's one of
Mm.
advertisement videos there. And then finally, the coach I'm working with, Sanghamitra Sabat. So Sanghamitra has been the coach who has made this possible because she is always there, wherever you are in your journey. So she is completely connected, and whenever and the her entire community says this, that we know that whenever we are down, we are falling, we have a hurdle, we have a difficulty, we know that you will be there to pick us up. So Sangmitra Sabat has been, and the coach because of which, my entrepreneurship journey is.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, I mean, thank you for sharing all of these very, very powerful insights. And as I said, we never know how our stories are going to shape somebody else, but I look at it as one of our roles is to share those stories. You know, whatever is meant to
Yes,
land, wherever it's meant to land,
yes.
it will anyway do that. Right. So, one or maybe two questions as we start to wrap. Um, at present, is there any program or anything that you're currently running or you want more people to be aware of? Tell us a little about that and what would be happening in that program.
Okay, so I am running the Voyages program,
Hmm.
and I just talked about that is my level one program, which I do. And it
Hmm.
starts from people finding their purpose. And it is a 90-day challenge in which people
Hmm.
find their purpose, create their goals, then work on the 7 areas of life. And somebody may need to work only on three or four, and
Hmm.
somebody may need to work on all seven. But
Hmm.
nevertheless, in the challenge, people have certain tasks to perform, and everyone gets a concrete result in each
Nice.
of the 7 areas of life.
Hmm.
And we conclude by this, but the journey is not only for the
Hmm.
challenges for 90 days. The membership that I offer is for 3 years. And
Nice.
because, one person may not be able to complete in 90 days, they might want to
Hmm.
come in the next one or the next one. So the journey, the entire membership is for 3 years. And uh, what I would like to share is that everyone is getting some magnificent results in their lives.
Nice.
So
Hmm.
some people have rebuilt their relationships with their children, somebody with a spouse. A lot of the people have started, working on their financial freedom.
Hmm.
Some people are working on their career, and everyone is working on their health.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Talk
somebody
about
who used to be a couch potato, in 4 months, he has now become a marathon runner.
wow, wow. That's
Everyone is working
very,
on.
very powerful. Talk about, full circle moments in life. From where you started your story, today to inspiring others to want to be able to really work on their health and
Yeah.
where it
Because
obviously
I
has.
have gone through it and I know what
Mm,
it means. If I had not
yes,
changed my life, I don't
yes,
know what I would have been.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's very, very powerful.
Maybe crushed under the under the grill.
Right. That's such a beautiful story, and one thing, of course, I will say is that people are really blessed and fortunate to have not only met you but to be working with you and benefiting from all your years of experience and also the way that you're putting it together.
Thank you.
So
Thank you so
I
much for saying that.
definitely wish you all the best on this journey, Dr. Saleha, and may you continue to, to live your purpose as you help them find theirs. And of course, for those who are watching this, as I said, these pods are in service of you, especially as a healer, as a coach. May you continue to find inspiration and, be that shining light. So, one more time, Dr. Saleh, thank you for taking the time to be here and to share your story and so much more. And wishing you all the very best.
Thank you so much, Rahul. Thank you for having me here. And it has
My
been a
pleasure.
very, very interesting conversation. You
Amazing.
took me back into my past, and yeah.
Beautiful. So, wish you all the best. And of course, for those of you who've reached this point, you obviously know that there's something about Dr. Saleh that you really connected with. So, you will have her contact details, different ways in which you can reach out to her, whether it's her program, whether it's her socials. Do follow her on all her social handles, and continue to literally do what you're doing. And as I always like to say, remember to live your purpose. So, wishing you all the best, whoever you may be, wherever you may be watching this, and be absolutely, the person that you're meant to be. Right. So,
May I say
thank you
one
one more
thing?
time, please.
So, one thing which I say is that Jeff Bezos says that
Mm.
if you do not take care of your customer, somebody else will. I
Mm.
say if you do not take care of yourself, nobody else will.
Ooh,
So, please take care
nice.
of yourself.
Love that.
Everyone who's been watching, please, please, please take care of yourself
Love that.
because nobody else will.
Mm. Amazing. So, with that, of course, thank you one more time. And to all of you out there, remember to live your purpose. We will be, of course, back with more pods, more of these curated stories of truly amazing people, and wishing you, of course, all the very best. So, just give me a moment while I pause our stream. Okay.